We return now to that huge Supreme Court decision overturning decades of precedent on affirmative action in higher education. The majority ruled yesterday colleges and universities cannot consider race as a factor in admissions decisions. The ruling said affirmative action cannot be reconciled with the guarantees of the Equal Protection Clause of the U.S. Constitution. Ruth Simmons was the first black president of an Ivy League school and is now a President's Distinguished Fellow at Rice University and a senior advisor to the president of Harvard University. She testified in Harvard's defense of affirmative action. Dr. Simmons, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us. Now, you argue that the ending of affirmative action won't make college admissions fairer. What do you think the impact of all of this will be?
Well, I think it simply means we'll get to work once again to try to deliver the justice that we've been seeking for a long time. Keep in mind that justices use their judgment. And we know from Plessy v. Ferguson, as well as many other cases before the Supreme Court, that their cases have sometimes their judgments have been overturned. So this is a long struggle, and we have to be in it for the length of the struggle, not because we are winning or losing at any given time.
Well, the supporters, Dr. Simmons, feel that right now we are losing. I think it would help if you would put in context what affirmative action really is. Some people think affirmative action means you're not qualified, but your race makes you qualified. When the reality, I think, is that you are qualified and race is just something that should be considered like you're an athlete or you play a musical instrument. So when will we know? Could you put it in context what it really means? And when will people think now is the time? Because the times we're living in right now doesn't seem like it is the time.
Well, I think, again, perhaps owing to my age, I take the long view here. And that means that affirmative action, as carried out by Harvard, was very much misunderstood, I think, by the justices. Harvard tries to bring shape a class, bring in many, many elements, one of which may have been race, but not ever the deciding factor. That is something that is the cause for the burnishing of the Harvard brand. Everybody wants to get into Harvard. Why? Because it has used this system of admission to judge people on the basis of everything they bring to the university. So that is something that I think Justice Roberts' remarks leaves room for, actually. People haven't paid much attention to that, but listen to what he said. He said that we should look at students based on their experiences as individuals. And what does he qualify as experiences? The challenges faced, the skills built, the lessons learned. So we're still able to consider a diversity of factors. And how do you erase a person's race? You can't. So I am not given to seeing this as being as detrimental as many.
So, Dr. Simmons, that's a great point. I was going to bring it up myself, and I think the follow-up naturally becomes, what is your advice? What's the practical takeaway for a 17-year-old thinking about applying to college next year after this ruling?
This is the single most important point for me, and that is we don't want young people to be discouraged by all of the storm and drang that they're hearing after this decision. We want them to continue to concentrate on their work hard in their courses, of course, but learn to become a total human being. Be involved in activities. Be involved in doing good for your community. Be involved in developing all of who you are as a human being. And admissions people will see that in addition to everything else you bring.
All right. Dr. Ruth Simmons, thank you very much. Prior president of 3 very different universities, the very top of your field. We couldn't get better perspective this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.